Hello my friends and welcome back. Thank you very much for being with me again today. About 4 topics for this video. Short. First, Trump, the president-elect of the United States of America, because he was selected for us to confirm in our voting machines, he supports sending, pay attention, European troops in Ukraine, not American troops yet. Second topic. Poland said yesterday, we will not send troops to Ukraine. But yesterday, in their little legislative body, the chief of their legislative body, I covered that in a video yesterday, said, well, we could send peacekeeping troops over there to Ukraine. So which one is it? Well, I think it depends on what Al Capone wants, which in this case is Trump. If Trump says you're going to send troops, the Poles will send troops gladly to protect their minority, their Polish minority living in the western part of Ukraine. That will be one of the main justifications. You'll see. Don't have to trust me, just see. The next topic. We have NATO chief, Mr. Rutte from the Netherlands, according to Traian Băsescu, the former Romanian president, Romania's president, he said he is an enemy of Romania. So Rutte will have no problem sending Romanian troops to be fucked up by the Russians. I guarantee you that. And let's say I don't guarantee you that. I give you 99.9%. Anyway, he says that actually Putin wants a long-term confrontation with Europe after Ukraine. I have 2 questions. First, how do you know that? And the second one is, didn't NATO move towards Russia and not vice versa? All right, I'm going to give you the answers in a minute. And we have the other topic related to Zelensky Stein, who has 2 things. Is Zelensky Stein still on the payroll of or not? It seems like he's going rogue. That's one. And the other one, he doesn't want a ceasefire on Christmas Day. Can you guess why? All right, that's why he's a Zelensky Stein. What do you want? He doesn't give a fuck. Actually, he's fighting with the Ukrainian nation, not with, you know what I mean. All right, let's start with the first topic. Ukrainska Pravda. Trump supports deployment of European troops in Ukraine to oversee ceasefire. Wall Street Journal. It will not happen. It will not happen, Mr. Trump. Let's go here. Let me show you the map of Ukraine. If you think that the Russians, according to these guys, had casualties of about 700,000 people, and they fought a 3-year war so far, to accept NATO troops legally coming in Ukraine, something that they got into in the first place, that was one of the reasons the Russians entered Ukraine. I know it was unprovoked and there's unjustified for the Russians to enter, okay? Even though they say there's 4 reasons why we entered. Do you think the Russians will go halfway and then turn back with a, I don't know, what expects them? So ceasefire. Ceasefire will be nobody shoots. The European NATO will come, and the European troops and the Americans will be in legally. They will refortify, recover, get everything they need over there. And in the meantime, they tell the Russians, we don't recognize Donbass being yours. We don't recognize Crimean Peninsula being yours. By the way, you have to pay about $700 billion, according to the International Monetary Fund, or I think it was World Bank. That's the estimate of the reconstruction of Ukraine. So you, Russia, have to pay this. By the way, Saddam Hussein has to go, the Taliban has to go, Gaddafi has to go, Mr. Milosevic has to go, Mr. Assad has to go, Mr. Erdogan has to go, you have to go. Do you think the Russians are baboons? Do you think so? I don't think so. They will never agree to a ceasefire under these circumstances. The Russians will control Ukraine from now and forever. Forever being as long as Russia still has balls. If Russia loses its balls, like Germany, then yes, Ukraine will be part of the free world. All right, that's the first article. Next article, coming from Russia Today. Trump wants European Union to send troops to Ukraine. A rumored ceasefire proposed would rule out US boots on the ground. Don't believe anything these guys say. Anything. Look at this guy. Look at this. Look at this. Look at this guy. Look at this guy. Oh, yes, we are united. And this guy's like, motherfuckers, look at you. And he's like, yeah, we're tough, man. Let me crack a joke for you. You're getting fatter. In a war, you should be slimmer because the war means you're stressed. You have problems. You don't have you don't have food. You don't have this. He's blossoming. Zelensky is blossoming. Anyway, my friends, so don't believe anything those guys say. They said first, we're not going to send howitzers, they did. We're not going to send armored vehicles, they did. We're not going to send HIMARS, they did. We're not going to send Patriot, they did. We're not going to send attack MS, we're not going to attack MS, they did. We're not going to send tanks, they did. We're not going to send F-16s, they did. We're not going to send troops, we're not going to use nukes, It's coming. So nothing. Who lied? All lied. But the problem is we're supposed to love these guys who lied at each step and hate the other ones who also lied. Okay, don't like the guys who lied, but like the other guys that also lied. Why? Otherwise you're anti or something. All right, let's see what Poland says. Russia Today. Poland says it won't send troops to Ukraine. All right, Mr. Donald Tusk. Speculation has been growing that Western nations could put boots on the ground if a ceasefire is reached between Kiev and Moscow. Poland has currently no plans. Currently, that's the key word. You got that? That is yesterday. Article is from the 12th. So on the 12th, they did not have plans. That means they didn't put drafted plans to send troops to Ukraine. The country's Prime Minister Donald Tusk has said. All right. Tusk made the remarks on Thursday during a press conference with French President Emmanuel Macron, who is in Warsaw, to cut off speculation about potential presence of this or that country in Ukraine after reaching a ceasefire. Decisions concerning Poland will be made in Warsaw and only in Warsaw. For the time being, that is now, we are not playing such actions. So what are you talking about? So I'm telling you this, honey, I love you. I will never cheat on you. Today. Now. I have no plans on doing that, by the way. And if the decision will be made by me. How settling is this little... How settling would be for you, let's say you're a partner. You say, motherfucker, you talk about now and forever. Did you lie before? The same with the Poles. Did you lie before? I tell you what's going to happen. When NATO, the guys in charge of NATO, will tell Poland, you do this, the Trojan horse in Europe, US's Trojan horse in Europe, the main one, Germany is not a Trojan horse. Germany is done, is over. Is the 51st, 52nd, 53rd US state. Poland would say, yes, sir, because Poland will be promised. First, you're going to fuck the Russians up. Oh, yeah, some Poles will say. Oh, you're going to get your Western Ukraine back. Oh, yeah, you're going to protect your, ethnic Poles in Western Ukraine from the Russian evil attacks. Oh, yeah. All this will be all yeah, I guarantee you that. And they don't have to be all yeah. These guys, for instance, Macron has a approval rating in his country of about what? 20%? Starmer, the Prime Minister of Great Britain, when he was appointed, not elected, he was appointed, because his party won what? 18% of the vote? 18. So these guys are in charge of a country because of the 18 of the votes. And the approval rating 20. So they don't have to have your approval, my Poles, my Polish friends. They don't have to. Or Romanian friends or American friends. They will just do it. Nobody asked me about the hundreds of billions of dollars, or let's put it nicely, tens of billions of dollars given to Ukraine by my country without being asked. Nobody asked me. So democracy for you. So they have no plans. It doesn't mean that today, it was yesterday claimed that they have no plans. It doesn't mean that today they don't have a plan. They might have a plan right now. And you know what they're going to say? We changed our mind. Why? The situation in Ukraine requires that. And what are they going to do? The media operatives are going to vomit on you what they are supposed to do, which is give you one-sided reality or part of reality. All right, let's see what NATO Rutte, who's an enemy of Romania, says. Associated Press. NATO chief warns that Putin wants, it's not might, no, he wants, not wants, long-term confrontation with Europe after Ukraine. This guy right here. My question. So he says he warns that Putin wants. That's a statement, all right? That's a there's no doubt anything. Putin might, could, should. No. Is wants. Now, how do you know that, Rute? Now, if you say, look what they're doing to Ukraine, I would say, what you do in Ukraine. What you've been doing with NATO. And then long-term confrontation with Europe after Ukraine. Says who? How did you reach that conclusion? If you give me the baboon, Russia attacked unprovoked and unjustifiable Ukraine, then of course you can say whatever you want. But I want to know what's your logic. He's not going to provide that, I read the article. He's not going to provide you the same garbage that we've been fed for at least 3 years. Russia bad, we good. Why? Because we say so. And the second question that I said I will ask was, didn't you go and got closer to Russia, or Russia moved towards you in its imperialistic worldview, bringing Russia together as Soviet Union? Did you advance and you conquered NATO? Well, it was a voluntary decision by each and every country. I'm not an idiot. They were not volunteer. They were guys put in place by you guys. What are you talking about? And then, okay, it was volunteer. What the Russian says. Remember what you promised in 1991 to the Soviets, Russians? No 1 inch eastward advance or expansion towards you guys of NATO. You lied. You fucking lied. So you moved over there, not the Russians came to you. They withdrew. You took over. And now you got close to Russia and say, well, it's okay. Every country has its own foreign policy. You remember the Cuban Missile Crisis? When those guys said, okay, you brought your Jupiter missiles in Turkey and in Italy, with nuclear warheads. We're going to do the same thing in Cuba. No, you can't. Why? National threat, emergency. But you can't do it. We can't do it to you. The same thing with Ukraine. You come to Ukraine with your weapons, but we're not supposed to say back off. Fuck off. Let's put it this way. Next one. Let's see how Zelensky seems to go rogue. And if you go rogue, his bodyguards will wrap him up and send him to London or to Moses or to New York. Russia Today. Trump told Zelensky he wants immediate ceasefire. And Zelensky said what? The Ukrainian leader earlier insisted that Kiev needs robust security guarantees while ruling out territorial concessions. No, those security guarantees were given to you by Minsk agreements. And you said you don't like anything about the Minsk agreement. So shut up. While ruling out territorial concessions. He's going to say yes, you know when? When he's going to be told to do that. When he's going to be told to do that, he's going to say yes. Do you think he fights for the Ukraine? Do you think this guy fights for the Ukrainians? Are you crazy? He's in charge to fight for other interests. And let me show you how he loves Christmas. Russia Today. Zelensky rejected Christmas ceasefire by Orban. Kiev also refused to carry out a major prisoner exchange with Russia, according to Hungarian Prime Minister. So Ukrainian leader, why these guys call this guy Ukrainian? I don't know. Zelensky has rejected a proposed Christmas ceasefire and a large-scale prisoner swap with Russia, Hungarian Prime Minister Viktor Orban said on Wednesday. And I'm quoting, at the end of the Hungarian EU presidency, we made new efforts for peace. We proposed a Christmas ceasefire and a large-scale prisoner exchange. It's said that Zelensky clearly rejected and ruled out this out today. We did what we could. Remember in the First World War, the Germans and the French, they had that Christmas together? But that was among us. We were ruled by us. Now you have Zelensky ruling Ukraine. And Zelensky is not ruling Ukraine on his own. He's told by other guys what he should do. Personally, I think it can't be, you can say, okay, Christmas is fire. It's not going to be implemented 100%. The front is too big. But nevertheless, this guy said, fuck your little Christmas right here. That's what he said. Basically, remember Ceausescu? Ceausescu was killed on the 25th, on Christmas Day. By the Romanians? Do you think the Romanians told the Romanians to... Why? No, I don't think so. I think, again, it was some people who did not give a shit about our Christmas. Who could that be? Do you think it was the Muslims? All right. Thank you very much for being with me again today. Stay strong, stay smart, look for the truth, and be just.